Alrighty, good morning, Arkansas. This is Chief Forecast Cameron back here once again, here to give you guys a quick weather update regarding tonight's severe weather threat going into your Tuesday morning here. So I'm going to wait for some few more people to come in. Well, actually, what is tonight? It's going to be Monday morning. Yeah, Monday morning. I got my days confused. So we're waiting for a few more people to come in this morning. It's about 8 o'clock. It's bright and early. Temperature's already 70 degrees. Feels like summer outside this morning. Dew points already in the mid to upper 60s. Got some low 70s coming into the state. So we're just going to wait for a few more people to come in. I'm going to get a quick sip of some water real quick. Alright. And like I mentioned before, we're just going to wait for a few more people to come in before I get started here. So yeah, good morning, guys. Like I said before, we've got a lot to talk about in terms of these storms that are going to be coming in as we get towards later on this evening and into tonight here, okay? So, yeah, Matthew, I do agree. Yeah, hopefully we get some of these storms to come through that doesn't cause a lot of accidents, doesn't cause a lot of issues here in Arkansas. Hopefully I can get your comment up today. There we go. Finally got that working. So, yeah, hopefully these systems pass without any incidents across the state here. So, like I said before, it's about 8 o'clock in the morning here. Now, a lot of people are going to be tuning in because, you know, you've got work, you've got school, etc. So, if you can't tune in right now, that's awesome. Make sure that you stay with the page throughout the day here, okay? So, I think I've maxed out pretty much everybody that I'm going to get right now on both Facebook and on YouTube. So, like I said, we're going to get started. Right now, like I said before, just kind of a statewide view at this point. Not much on radar. A few isolated showers up there. Up there in northwestern Arkansas, but nothing major. Temperatures right now are just straight up, it feels muggy. You got 70 degrees in Fayetteville, 70 here in the metro, 72 in Russellville, 73 in Fort Smith, 70 down there in Texarkana, 70 in Monticello, and 70 in Jonesboro at this point here. So let's kind of take a look at the regional wide view, and what I'm going to do for just a moment is we're going to take a look at the storm field. This is the kind of the fuel that we need in the atmosphere for the potential seeing severe weather. And this is 8 o'clock in the morning, by the way. This is 8 a.m., 8:22 as of this live stream. And you can already see we've got moderate storm fuel across our areas over here in eastern Oklahoma. As a matter of fact, I already got a special weather statement for our folks up there in southeast Kansas, along the Kansas-Oklahoma border. So you can see that instability already coming in as of 8 o'clock this morning, and it's going to continue to build in as we get into the afternoon and into the evening hours here, okay? So let's also take a look at current dew points across the area. And like I said, it just feels soupy outside. Dew points in the mid to upper 60s right now here. You've got some 70s down there in Texas and Louisiana. That moisture is going to stream northward as we get later in this morning and into the afternoon and into the evening hours here, okay? So I promise I'm going to get to you guys' questions coming up here in just a little bit. I do have some graphics I need to go over at this point. So we're going to go back over to this. And this is the latest update from the Storm Prediction Center here. And I told you guys last night that there was going to be some sort of an expansion. Let's see if I can change the color of this. There was going to be some sort of expansion of the level 3 here. So now you've got the level 3 all the way down to our folks in Mena and across western and northwestern Arkansas. So this is going to be the area of concern as we get into later this afternoon and into this evening here. Now, keep in mind, this is going to go for all hazards. This is for the potential of damaging winds, large hail, and also the potential of a tornado here. So you're going to have storms that are going to develop from Fayetteville to Fort Smith, Mena, all the way down towards the Queen. And what they're going to do, they're going to move in this general direction. They're going to move pretty much due east. You may have a few that may try to go northeast, but you're going to have the general motion today is going to be from west to east. Some of these storms could start off down here in southwestern Arkansas as well. That may track up northeast, so we'll have to keep an eye on that as well. We're going to have our Heartland Storm Hunter team out there today. They're going to be set up later on this evening. They're going to be tracking these storms coming out of Oklahoma, coming into Arkansas throughout the overnight hours as well here, okay? So, yeah, it just feels like, you know, this morning it's very soupy. It's just very warm outside. It just feels like severe weather this morning here across the area here. So something that we'll have to continue to monitor as we get later on into today here, okay? So let's break this down risk by risk. We're going to start with the timing. Before I get into the risk, I'm going to start with the timing, because a lot of people are going to be coming in trying to figure out the timing at this point here. So in western Arkansas, from Rogers, Fayetteville, that's Benton, Washington County, Fort Smith, down towards Waldron, that's Mena, that's going to be Polk County, POLK, and then all the way down towards the Queen. That is where we're going to start you guys off at about 10 p.m. tonight to about 3 o'clock in the morning. This is a subtle change from last night here. Remember, we had you guys at 7. Now we have you guys at about 10 o'clock this evening here. So it's going to have to wait and see where this is going to go. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But right now we have western Arkansas starting at about 10 o'clock this evening. And then it's going to push eastward pretty quickly here. Now, there is some good news that I want to talk to you guys about this morning, is that as the storms come out of western Arkansas and into central and eastern Arkansas, they will start to die off. However, the severe threat is going to continue throughout the evening and into the night. So if you know anyone that lives in western Arkansas, give them a heads up. Tell them about what's going on. Share the page with them as well. However, I would say for folks that live just to the east of Little Rock, these storms are going to start to die off as you get later into the night. Now, we still have eastern Arkansas in the time zone, because the severe threat, when does that end, is the very big question mark at this point. So we still have you guys over there in eastern Arkansas about 4 a.m. to lunch tomorrow. But it's very uncertain. There's a big question mark for our folks over there in eastern Arkansas, because how long does the storms last as they push through the state? Western Arkansas, it's a pretty much solid 100% confidence that you guys are going to see storms over there in western Arkansas. Then it's going to push into central Arkansas as we get later into the evening, into the overnight hours. Severe threat is still going to continue for our folks in central Arkansas, north central Arkansas, and potentially southwestern Arkansas. And then as we get into eastern Arkansas, does those storms die off, or do they continue all the way into eastern Arkansas and then it start to die off? There could be another round right around lunch tomorrow, by the way. Guidance is really wanting to develop it on the other side of the Mississippi River. So that's why I've cut you guys from 2 p.m. to midday tomorrow here across eastern Arkansas here. So we've got folks watching in Fort Smith. Sandra, I would have that severe weather awareness up as we get into tonight. Big time severe threat over there in western Arkansas here, damaging winds, large hail, and that tornado threat. And there could actually be, especially in northwestern Arkansas, there could be some strong tornadoes up there in northwestern Arkansas. We're talking from the Fayetteville, the Rogers area here. As a matter of fact, let's jump into that tornado risk zone. And this is what we've got at this point. So there's been some subtle changes with the tornado threat. But for our folks up there in northwestern Arkansas, you can see where they're hatched. That is going to be for the potential of EF2 tornadoes or greater. So keep that in mind if you know anyone up there in northwestern Arkansas as we get towards this evening here. Yeah, that includes you up there in northwestern Arkansas. So something you have to keep an eye on as we get towards tonight here. Okay, so Anna, I'm going to answer your question real quickly here. So did I hear this correctly here? These storms are going to come from western Arkansas to central to Harrison. You guys in Harrison, you're in North Arkansas. You're not in Central. You're in North Arkansas. You're going to see the severe threat up there. I'm talking about folks down in Little Rock, the Cabot area, down towards Sheridan, the center part of the state. Harrison's in the northern part of the state. So you're going to have that severe threat going into tonight here. So that still remains. But I'm saying what's going to happen is the storms are going to develop out in western Arkansas. The weakening trend is going to start as they move east. When do they die off? Do they die off in eastern Arkansas, or do they die off the moment they cross the Mississippi River? That's something that we're going to have to monitor as we get into tonight here. Okay, so tornado threats up right now for Lonoke County. There is no tornado threat right now, but we are going to watch you guys very closely. It just depends on when does the storms die off. And you can see, this is what I agree with from the Storm Prediction Center. They cut the tornado risk right at I-30 up to the 167 corridor here, because what's going to happen once it gets past that area, your storms are going to supposedly start to die off. We'll have to keep an eye on that. I've seen situations like that before where guidance will tell you that they're going to die off pretty quickly and they last a little bit longer than expected. So just kind of keep that in mind here. But I want to show you guys kind of the storm motion for today. So you're going to have storms that are going to develop out here. They're going to move in this general direction. And you can see once they get past I-30 in this general area where this cutoff zone is, they're going to start to weaken. However, once they start to weaken, we'll have to watch out for any kind of boundaries that might try to set up for Tuesday. It's a lot of things that still need to be worked out over the next 12 hours here. But just kind of keep that in mind as we get towards tonight here. So, also, one more thing. A lot of people are asking questions about certain cities. Make sure that you're paying attention to the graphics as well. All the cities, all the stuff is on there. It's a very easy graphic to kind of pinpoint of where you stand. Right now, Eastern Arkansas and Southeastern Arkansas, you're relatively good to go because you guys are going to be capped off tonight. But Western, Northwestern Arkansas, that severe weather awareness needs to be up, up, up. And they got a lot of people tuning in from Northwestern Arkansas. Love it. Let's share this video. That way we can get that awareness up for tonight here. Yeah, Northwestern Arkansas, you need to have that game plan ready to go. My folks up there in Fayetteville, up towards Bentonville, you need to have that game plan ready to go as we get towards tonight, because you can see that area has been upgraded to a likely zone, and it's now hatched for the potential of seeing EF2 plus up there in Northwestern Arkansas here, okay? So give me just 1 second here. Let me go over to the other graphics we've got at this point. This is the damaging wind threat. Now, like I mentioned before, these storms are going to start in Northwestern Arkansas and Western Arkansas, and they're going to push east. So the greatest damaging wind threat is going to be for our folks over there in Western and Northwestern Arkansas. This includes Fayetteville. This includes Fort Smith, Waldron, Mena, Harrison, Jasper, and the Mount Home area at this current time here. So something that we're going to have to continue to monitor at this current point. Radar right now is clear. I want to make this perfectly clear right now, guys. There's nothing on radar right now. I'm going to go over all that in just a little bit, but I've got to break down these graphics, so keep that in mind. But right now, there's nothing on radar. Radar is perfectly clear at this point, okay? So Russellville is considered, I would consider Russellville more Western Arkansas. The center part of the state is Conway, Cabot, the Little Rock area, the Hot Springs area, pretty much areas surrounding the Little Rock area. Russellville is a little bit more towards West Central Arkansas. So just kind of keep that in mind. So this, like I said before, pay attention to the graphics. It's going to have the cities. It's going to have all the risk areas broken down at this point. So Western Arkansas has the greatest shot of seeing damaging winds, and this is going to continue to push off towards the east as we get towards tonight here, okay? Same thing for the large hail. Now, the hail threat, if you go out to Oklahoma and Texas today, the hail threat is going to be maximized out there, and you can see where that hail threat's maximized across Western Arkansas from Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Waldron, all the way down towards Mena and the DeQueen area. So keep that in mind for tonight, the cities that I'm mentioning right now. Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Waldron, Mena, DeQueen, Harrison, Jasper, Mount Home, those areas. Those are the areas that we're seeing right now that's going to produce the severe weather threat as we get towards tonight. We're not saying Central Arkansas is all clear. We're not saying Northeastern Arkansas is all clear. We're not saying Southwestern Arkansas is all clear. But the majority of this severe weather potential is going to start in Western Arkansas, and it's going to carry over into the center part of the state, and then it's going to carry over into the potential into Eastern Arkansas, and then that's it at this point. If you missed it earlier on, I went over the time frame earlier on in the live stream. You can rewind the live stream. I'm going to go over timing in a little bit, and I'm going to go over Futurecast and answer a few more questions here. I just got to get through the graphics. So this is our severe weather category. We're at level 3, which is very likely. That means severe thunderstorms are very likely as we get towards night. That also means that we are in severe weather alert day. So all posts on Facebook is going to be strictly about the severe weather threat as we get towards tonight. We're going to have our Heartland Storm Chase team out, the Heartland Storm Hunter, who's going to be out for tonight, tracking these storms coming out of Western Arkansas. So just keep that in mind here. This is not an April Fool's joke. Severe weather should never be joked about. All of our posts today is going to be about the severe weather threat as we get into tonight here, okay? So what I'm going to do for just a little bit, I'm going to leave this up because I think a lot of people are asking about the timing. Let me get a sip of water real quick. All right, so we're good to go. So that's the severe weather timing for tonight. I'm going to leave this up for a little bit, and I'm going to answer some questions here. Okay, so I have a lot of people that are asking about the Woodruff County area. That's over there in eastern Arkansas. Right now, Derek, I would tell you to kind of keep your awareness up. It just depends on when the storms are going to die off over there in eastern Arkansas. Do they die off, or do they last long enough to kind of make it over there in eastern Arkansas? That's the kind of uncertain question at this point. So just kind of pay attention. Make sure that your weather app is downloaded. Make sure you have your alerts on just to be on the safe side. I think the majority, like I said before, I think the majority of the severe threat will be to your west, but it just depends on when does these storms come into eastern Arkansas and do they die off. That's the number one question that I'm trying to figure out at this point. So are we seeing pop-up sales ahead of the main line? That is something that we're going to have to watch as well. So keep that in mind here. We'll have to keep an eye on that. If you guys see those pop-up sales over there in northeastern Arkansas, your timing may be a little earlier than 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm thinking you guys are going to be capped off. We're gonna cross our fingers. We're going to think you guys are capped off across eastern Arkansas. So what that would mean is that storms will try to develop, but then they would pretty much die off. We'll have to wait and see. If that develops, then that could potentially start some stuff over there in northeastern Arkansas. But right now, I think you guys are going to be capped off just long enough for the main line to get to you guys, and that's if it makes it. Right now, there's a lot of uncertainty on if the main line is going to make it to you guys over there in eastern and northeastern Arkansas. That's why your risk is quote-unquote lower than our folks over there in western Arkansas as we get into tonight, okay? So let me see here. We've got some questions about the tornado watch. I don't think it won't go that high. I think it'll just be a regular tornado watch that'll get issued, but we'll watch it. I don't know yet. When they go 10% hatched, it just depends on like if it's going to be like a discrete mode. It's a strong tornado threat, overwhelming. Right now, I think a regular tornado watch will be issued, and I think it will probably be for the majority of the state, by the way. It'll probably go from much of western and northern Arkansas. I could probably see it making it to central. Eastern Arkansas right now, there's a big question mark on you guys' head in terms of if storms will make it over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw this out so you guys kind of get a visual on what we're looking at. So this area right in here is where the best storm coverage is going to be as we get into tonight. This is where the best storm coverage is going to be for our folks in western Arkansas, west central, possibly making it to the I-30 corridor over here. This is where the best severe weather potential is going to be for tonight. The biggest question mark is going to be over here in eastern Arkansas if storms were to make it over here as we get into the night. I kept you guys in the time zone for a reason, and that's just because, you know, if storms make it, it's going to be in that time. But there's a big question mark on if storms are going to make it out from western Arkansas to eastern Arkansas as we get into the night. And there could be some storm development right around that 11 a.m. to noon time frame tomorrow. We'll have to keep an eye on that as well here. But the best severe weather potential is going to be for our folks over here in western Arkansas. That's, you know, Russellville, that's Harrison, Mount Home, Mountain View, the Clinton area, that's Jasper, Fayetteville, Rogers, our folks up here in northwestern Arkansas. I'm very concerned for our folks up here in northwestern Arkansas, by the way. I'm going to highlight you guys in a different color. This area in here needs to be, that awareness needs to be up tonight, because you're going to have the potential of some strong tornadoes up here in northwestern Arkansas. But majority of the area, this is where we're going to have to watch as we get into tonight here. That western part of the state is going to have the best potential of seeing severe weather, but that doesn't mean if you live in the eastern part that you need to just, you know, go to sleep, let your guard down. Just kind of pay attention, kind of keep your awareness up for tonight. If we let you guys go, then we'll let you guys go over there in eastern Arkansas. So, and a good question, if it stays cloudy, will that work in our favor? Unfortunately, it's going to be cloudy. You're going to have what's called low-level clouds. But the moment you go into the upper levels of the atmosphere, you're going to have broken clouds. So basically, what happens is the instability starts to increase even with the cloud cover in place, because you don't have that full deck. It's like you have the low, the mid, and the high cloud cover. And the mid and the high cloud cover is pretty much broken. So you just have that low cloud cover. You just have that one layer. So you're going to be able to get that instability to build even with that cloud cover in place for today. I would have liked to have woken up to a lot of widespread shower and thunderstorm activity, kind of what Quinn was talking about yesterday about that potential up there in northwestern Arkansas. Unfortunately, we didn't see that happen this morning here. We're pretty much capped off. We just got a good amount of cloud cover across the area. So right now, I would say the severe threat is still on here. And a lot of people are asking, we're going to see, is Hot Springs going to see another tornado? Folks, we can't predict tornadoes here. We're not that good. We can't sit here and tell you guys who's going to see what in terms of, is this if a tornado's going to be here or a tornado's going to be there. We're not that good. I appreciate that compliment, but I'm not that good. I can't tell you that. What I can tell you is that there is a risk for the potential of seeing a tornado or two in that area. Make sure you have your guard up, but I can't tell you if you're going to get hit or not. We're not that advanced here. I wish we were, because we'd be able to tell you, we'd be able to get you to safety and all that, but we're not that good here in terms of that. So let me see here. Yeah, I'm going over all this at this point. Going over the questions at this current time here. So can we see the radar? I'll show you radar real quickly here. Like I said before, there's nothing on radar right now. Folks, I told you guys this last night. There's nothing to worry about right now. This morning, you're going to be gravy. You're going to go to lunch, you're going to be fine. You're going to go this afternoon, you're going to be good. These storms are not going to come in until later on tonight. Don't expect these storms to come in like what we had March 31st at 2 o'clock in the afternoon or 3 o'clock. This is going to be coming in tonight. This is a late evening into the overnight threat. So don't worry about it right now. Don't worry about it. It's not going to be coming in this morning or in the afternoon. It's going to be tonight. That severe weather awareness needs to be going up as you get into tonight. You're going to be good for the majority of the day. We're pretty much capped off here across the state. We got a little bit of activity up here in southeastern Kansas right now, but that activity is moving north and it's moving away from Arkansas. So we can zoom down and show you guys what's going on here. And there's not much going on. There's no activity, a few little showers here and there, but there's no activity on radar at this current time here. So I've had a lot of people ask about radar. We don't have much going on there at this current point. What I will show you though is Futurecast, and I want to see if is this done or not. I think it's pretty much done for this event. So this is about 3 o'clock this afternoon. Could be some sales up here in southeastern Kansas. If you know anyone on the eastern side of Oklahoma, along the Red River, down here in North Texas, make sure they have that safe plan ready to go as we get towards night. This is not an April Fool's joke. This is 100% real. We're going to have that severe threat as we get into later on this evening and into the night. Now let's take this out all the way through. As you can see, for our folks up there in northwestern Arkansas, this is going to be coming in. Look at our timing. We had 10 p.m. for you guys over here. The HR is wanting to throw out about 9 o'clock. So this is when these storms are going to start coming in. That's Fayetteville, that's Fort Smith over here, that's along Interstate 49. This is when these storms are going to come in. Some of these storms will be capable of producing very large hail, damaging winds, and the potential of a tornado. Some of these tornadoes could be strong, especially up here in northwestern Arkansas. So keep that in mind as we get towards tonight here. But this is 9 o'clock at this point, and you can take this out all the way through. As you can see, this is where the question mark is going to remain. What happens with these storms? Do they die off, or do they continue as we get into tonight here? Some areas, by the way, are going to get missed. This is not going to be a big squall line that's going to come out from Oklahoma and push through the state, and it's going to cause widespread destruction. It's not going to be like that, folks. However, we are going to see severe weather. Some areas, like I said before, may not even see anything. May not even see a storm. It just depends on when do these storms die off at this point. So let me make this abundantly clear. Folks, I cannot predict tornadoes. I got a lot of people asking that right now. I cannot predict tornadoes here. We don't do that. We do not do that. It would be very immature for me to do that. We're not going to sit here and tell you you're going to have a tornado now, or you're going to have this, you're going to have that. What I can tell you is make sure you have that severe weather plan in motion. And also, one more thing. Severe weather is more than tornadoes. PSA. Severe weather is way more than tornadoes. You're going to have a damaging wind threat, and you're going to have a hail threat to contend with as well. So if you get under a severe thunderstorm warning, don't just Don't just do this. You see that severe warning and then you just, ignore it. Don't do that. Make sure you're treating the large hail and damaging wind threat just as important as the tornado threat as we get into tonight. So please keep that in mind. I can't sit here and predict who's gonna see what or who's gonna get hit or anything like that. I don't have a magic 8-ball in here. I don't. I'm sorry, but I can tell you that there is a risk. There could be storms as we get towards tonight, and what I can do is give you a timing and tell you what you can do to stay safe whenever severe weather strikes here. Okay, so this is midnight tonight. Just kind of a general idea on what we're looking at here. And like I said, I think Model Dynamics is just struggling on if storms are going to make it. I don't like how these cells are by themselves. And you can actually see it. There's one near Mena, one near the Russellville area, near the Clinton area. I don't like how these cells are by themselves. But you can see as we get into tonight, they kind of die off. So we'll have to see. This is why I said Eastern Arkansas, you have that big question mark. But Western Arkansas has that potential of seeing severe weather as we get into tonight here. So please keep that in mind. We're going to be watching radar. Obviously, if we have a warning, we're going to be here. You don't have to worry about all that, folks. Make sure you have our weather app downloaded. Go to your Google Play Store right now. If you're watching us on your phone, go to the Play Store. Make sure you have our weather app downloaded. That's the number one thing. One of my guys, if y'all can tag the link to the app, it's going to be arkansasweatherwatchers.com/app. All you got to do is download it. It's going to tell you when we have alerts, when we go live, all that good stuff here. So please keep that in mind as we get into tonight here, okay? So let me see here. Yeah, can this please be an April Fool's joke? I wish it was, but I wouldn't be sitting here going live if it was an April Fool's joke. I'd rather joke more about snow than I would severe weather here. So let me see here. And like I said before, Devo, to answer that question, I wouldn't trust this radar. This is just a simulation on who's going to see what as we get into tonight. It's just a simulation. It's like an idea on what radar could look like. I've seen setups like this before where, guidance has just completely died off, and then we get to the event, we get to that exact hour, and we're still dealing with storms. So I never trust model data with 100%, truth, but it does give you an idea. It gives you that kind of like it's guidance. It gives you guidance on what the radar may look like, but it's not going to be 100% accurate in terms of what it's going to look like at that time frame, if that makes sense, Devo. So I'm not going to say Pulaski County is going to get missed, but I will say just make sure you have your guard up as we get towards night, guys. It's the risk is there, and like I said before, I just wouldn't trust this, because what happens is it has Western Arkansas, Northwestern Arkansas, and then these storms die. But what happens if you get storms to develop down here in southwestern Arkansas, or you have storms develop ahead of the line? Then this model data just goes straight in the trash. So just kind of keep that in mind. That's why Pulaski County, that's why Central Arkansas is in that risk area as we get into tonight here. Okay, so let me see here. What about Southeastern Arkansas? You guys haven't been talked about much down there in Southeastern Arkansas. It's because you guys are going to be capped off. You guys aren't going to see much down there. You may see some storms around lunch tomorrow, but for the majority of this event, you should be good to go down there in Southeastern Arkansas. And I always say, if you don't hear your name called during severe weather, it's a good thing, because that means there's nothing going on. That's why we really haven't talked about Southeastern Arkansas, because there's not much going to be happening down there with this event here. Okay, so got one of my people, they've got the app up. This is going to be the link towards the app. If you can't see in the comments, it's pulled up on the screen. And like I said before, just double check a couple of things real quick. Yeah, I wish I could shake the magic 8-ball. I wish I could. Like I said before, if we were that advanced, we would be able to save so many lives with that. But we're not there yet. Maybe in the next 20 years, they'll come out with something that predicts, where it's going to strike and everything. But we're just not that good, guys. I appreciate it. I'm glad you guys have that much confidence in me and our team, but we can't do that. We just can't. We're not that good. Will the speed of the storms have an effect on the severity? That's a really good question. These storms are going to be quick. about 50 to 60 miles per hour coming out of eastern Oklahoma, southeast Kansas, and in northern Texas. So I always say when the storms are moving pretty quick, your severe threat actually is a little bit higher than they would be if they were moving slow. Because when they're moving slow, then you open the opportunity to what's called cold pulling. Basically, you have more storms develop. They kind of outflow each other, and then it just becomes a big soupy mess. But if they're speeding, and this is what I'm worried about, if they start to speed up, then they won't be a line. It'll just be discrete supercells coming out of eastern Oklahoma, and that's where that tornado threat is going to be maximized. That's why northwestern Arkansas is in that hatched area for the potential of seeing strong tornadoes. So that's actually a really good question regarding this setup here. Yeah, the speed of the storms does have an effect on the severity here. So I don't have a good feeling about this. I think it's going to do well in northwestern Arkansas and eastern Oklahoma, but what about this area down here in northern Texas and southwestern Arkansas? Do you stay capped off, or do storms develop? This is where we're going to have to watch, because if this develops down here, then what's going to happen is these storms are going to move they're going to move due east. You may have a few that may try to go northeast. So we'll have to keep an eye on that as we get towards night. This is something that we're going to have to monitor as we get into tonight here across western and southwestern Arkansas. So let me see here. If you have any more questions, just let me know. So hopefully we don't have a lot of severe weather for tonight. Hopefully, we don't have to sit here and talk about tornado warnings or destruction or anything like that here tonight. But it is our job to make sure you guys are aware of the situation here. So I think that's pretty much it for all the questions here. If y'all have any more, just let me know. I'm going to let this live stream kind of go to about 9 o'clock in the morning. And then we're just going to get some breakfast. We're going to chill out a little bit. And then we're going to get another update at 11:30 this morning. And I want to remind you guys that for our folks over in YouTube, and if one of my guys can put a YouTube link, we're going to have that continuous live stream start about 3 o'clock. This one is not going to be just music in the background. It's going to be a live discussion with myself and our forecast team. We're going to kind of break down the model data. We're going to break down, timing, radar. Facebook is going to be reserved for post and tornado warnings, because what I have learned is if you let a continuous stream go on Facebook, it will not send a notification out when there's a tornado warning, and we're not doing that, folks. We're not playing that ball game. So what we're going to do is on YouTube, that continuous stream is going to go pretty much the entire event. But on Facebook, if there's a tornado warning, boom, we're going to be live. So that's the biggest thing here. So make sure, go check us out on YouTube. If you have a smart TV, go to the YouTube app, search up Arkansas Weather Watchers, just kind of leave that up all day. That's going to be up as we get into about 3 o'clock this afternoon here. But yeah, I don't like how Facebook does that, because we would normally have a continuous stream on Facebook, but I learned with the last event that it did not send a notification out when there was a tornado warning, and we're not playing that, guys. We're not playing that ball game. We got to get notifications out, because it maximizes how many people we get on the live stream. So keep that in mind as we get into the night here. So I just got in because of work. What does Central Arkansas look like tonight? Primarily the Conway and the Mayflower area. You guys are under the gun for potential damaging winds, hail. There could be an isolated tornado or two. It just depends on what happens with these storms as they push out of eastern Oklahoma as we get into the night. Tammy, it's the same thing. It's going to be Arkansas Weather Watchers. It is for iPhone and for Android users. Go download it. It's 1,000% free, and it's going to be a lifesaver with severe weather. So if y'all don't have any more questions here, I'm going to break down the graphics one last time. I'm going to leave this up so folks that are just tuning in, trying to figure out when it's going to be coming on. So I'm actually subscribed to the YouTube channel as well. Heather, feel free to tune in 3 o'clock this afternoon. It's going to be myself. It's going to be the forecast team. We're going to kind of break everything down. But like I said before, Facebook, don't feel neglected. Facebook, you have a higher priority. That's why we're not doing a continuous stream on Facebook. We want you guys saved for those emergency situations. So if we have a tornado warning, we're going to be live on both Facebook and on YouTube for tonight here. Okay, so for Mount Holmes, same thing. The damaging wind threat's there, hail, and that tornado threat. Same thing for the Hot Springs Village area. Hot Springs Village area, I know the anxiety's got to be through the roof. You guys just got through dealing with that tornado. I know what's going on. So what I'm going to stress to you guys right now is make sure you have that plan ready to go. If you have a safety plan in motion, it cuts down on the anxiety. It doesn't get rid of it, but it cuts down on it. And what I mean by having that plan is making sure you know where to go when a tornado warning is in effect. That's away from the windows. That's away from the outside walls. That's a closet. That's that center part of the home. This is why we talk about severe weather 4 days, 5 days in advance, so you guys know where to go, and it saves a lot of time instead of waiting to day one and then you're trying to figure out, who's going to, trying to figure out where to go, all these plans and stuff like that. That's why we talk about it, 4 to 5 days out, so that way you have that plan in motion. All right, so considering Central Arkansas, Andy, with the LLJ surface winds at mid-60 dew points, shouldn't that assist to keep the storms healthy? Yes, but there's a caveat to that, and it's going to be the nocturnal inversion. As you progress into the night, that inversion is going to increase, especially for our folks in Central and Eastern Arkansas. However, let's say if storms are earlier, let's say, if they come out of Western Arkansas still severe, then your comment would be absolutely perfect. With the LLJ in place, that's your low-level jet, your surface winds, and your dew points, all that moisture and the instability in the air, that would keep the storms going as they push into Central Arkansas. Eastern Arkansas is the question mark right now across the area here. So really, really good comment, Andy. We'll have to keep an eye on that tonight here, but that's the one caveat to your comment. It's going to be the nocturnal version, basically the lid on the atmosphere that kind of keeps these storms from developing, but we'll keep an eye on that. Fayetteville does not have tornado sirens. I only go to Fayetteville for the the Arkansas Razorback game, football. So I never kind of looked and see if actually Fayetteville does have tornado sirens or not. Hopefully they do. If they don't, then if a tornado warning happens, then we'll let you guys know. Also, we're going to be on top of everything, on YouTube and on Facebook. Tornado warning happens, we're going to give leeway times and all that, so you don't have to worry about that, folks. Make sure your phones are charged as well. Great comment. Whenever you deal with severe weather, especially with damaging winds, make sure that phone or your devices are charged. That way, you're good to go. And what I would recommend, by the way, is if your phones go down, have a tablet or a PC or something like that, make sure that it's charged as well here, guys. So, like I said before, that damaging wind threat is there along with the tornado and the hail threat here, okay? So, let me see here. So, yeah, Fayetteville has sirens when I was living there. Y'all have that, like I said before. I'm only in Fayetteville when we're in football season. That's the only time I go to Fayetteville up there in northwestern Arkansas. So, Rogers, I'm very concerned about that up there in northwestern Arkansas. You're in that tornado zone. As a matter of fact, let's go to that real quick. That's up there in Fayetteville. That's Benton County, Washington County up here. This is where we're going to have to watch. I've seen several events up here where you guys were under the hatch and we were live going over tornado warnings. Make sure you have that safe plan ready to go. As a matter of fact, if you live in this entire area that's basically from Jonesboro, Searcy, all the way down to southwestern Arkansas, if you live in this tornado risk area, just make sure you have that safe plan ready to go. Pay attention to the graphic as well, because you can see up here, right over here, this is where you have your safety plans right up here. I want you guys to pay attention to this. Help others whenever we're dealing with severe weather, guys, because a lot of people are new to the state. They've probably never dealt with severe weather before. Lend a helping hand, guys. Tell them how to identify a safe place. Practice with them. Show them how to receive tornado watches and tornado warnings on our weather app. Lend that helping hand, because it goes a long way whenever you're dealing with severe weather. Matthew, great question. Do you think this gets upgraded again? I don't think they go moderate with this. I set this March 31st, and they upgraded on me at 11:30. So I don't know if they're going to plan on doing that or not. I think this is pretty much solid as it is. I wouldn't go any higher. than what it is right now. But I'm not Storm Prediction Center. I don't make those decisions. So we will let you guys know if they do. Last time I said no to an upgrade, they upgraded on me. So we'll see. I don't think this is a moderate risk worthy system. I would like to see more of what we call a discrete mode, where you have super kind of like what we had, last year, where we had these discrete supercells more scattered out instead of a main line of storms. So we'll see. I think the enhanced risk is a pretty solid bet. I don't think they upgrade, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm like I said before, last time I said no to it, they did it. So I'm not going to say no to it now. But we'll see. I think this is pretty much solid. What I will say, though, is this, Matthew. I wouldn't be shocked if this gets expanded to include this. I wouldn't be shocked to see something like that. But with the tornado risk, by the way, getting the likely zone getting expanded, probably to Jasper, to Harrison, to the Fort Smith area. But I don't think they go moderate. I need to see a little more before they go moderate. Thank you so much for that. And it's not just me. It's my entire team. I promise you guys, this is not a one-man show. I've got an entire team that's taking care of the comments, that's doing these graphics, that's helping me with coverage. I wouldn't be doing this all by myself, guys. With my pre-install app. Yeah, I hate those pre-install apps because they give you kind of sometimes they'll tell you it's like 20% chance of rain, and then a storm will pop up and it'll go from 20 to 80. They'll be like, oh yeah, it's 80% now. It's 100%. So I know they're there for a reason. I know they try to help out, but it's just, I wish it wouldn't be so sporadic like that, because they'll go from 20 to 100 in a short amount of time here. Let me see here. Heidi, thank you so much for getting that link up. Storm shelter is cleaned out, ready to go. Hoping for no tornadoes. We're gonna keep our fingers crossed, guys. No tornadoes for tonight, but we're gonna be here. We're gonna keep you guys updated. Matthew, appreciate the hard work, guys. I appreciate you for commenting, man. You have any more questions? Just shout out. Let me see here. Just a few more. I think Lauren, I may have missed your comment. Are you asking about Eastern Arkansas and the Memphis, Tennessee area, or are you just tuning in? Because if you are asking about Eastern Arkansas, it's a big question mark right now in terms of storms are going to make it over there at this point here. Okay, so we got people tuning in from North Little Rock. Let me double check that real quick. Let's say 4. If y'all have any more questions, let me know. Let me see here. Jeannie, thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate that. And like I said before, it's not just me, it's my team. Like I said before, if this was me by myself, I'd probably be in some kind of psycho home or something like that, because there's a lot that goes into this. It's like graphics, it's radar, all this other stuff. So I do appreciate that, guys. I appreciate the trust. I appreciate y'all tuning in. We don't like talking about severe weather as much as you guys don't like hearing about it. But we've got to save lives. We've got to keep you guys updated here, okay? So, let me see here. Let me see. How bad is it going to be in Greenwood? Oh, that's over there in Western Arkansas. That severe weather awareness, I'd have that up as we get towards tonight. Especially just a little bit after the 7 o'clock area. I've got you guys at 10 o'clock for the timing. So if anyone wondering where Greenwood is, that's going to be over here in Western Arkansas. I've got you guys. Let me go back over to the timing map real quick. I had it up. There it is. So 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. I've got you for timing. Very large hail, by the way. 2-inch diameter hail. The potential of damaging winds, and also the potential of a few tornadoes over there. I wouldn't be shocked if by 11 o'clock you have some sort of like what's called a hatched area for the potential of seeing tornadoes. We'll just have to keep an eye on that. I think there will be some sort of an expansion with that as we get into later on here. So Benton, Central Arkansas, depends on what happens when these storms as they push out of Western Arkansas. That's something we're gonna have to watch. The coverage over here in Western Arkansas, we're pretty much solid that we're gonna have severe storms. We're gonna send our chase team out there. We're gonna have dual coverage for tonight, me and the Weather Center. Our chase director, Derek, he's going to be out there chasing over there in Western Arkansas as we get towards night. And then we're going to track this and see what happens as they push eastward at this point. During the day today, I want to stress this. A lot of people are tuning in, trying to figure out how they go about for today. Let me make this perfectly clear. This morning, you're gravy. This afternoon, you're gravy. This is not March 31st. This is not going to be storms that are going to be coming out at 2, 3 o'clock this afternoon. This is going to be a late evening, overnight timing where your body starts to settle down. You start to get ready to go to sleep. That's when the storms are going to start to happen. So carry on throughout the day. You're going to be good. I promise you, you don't have to worry about anything this morning or this afternoon. I know the skies look like, storms about to just come out. It's just about to pour down, raining, but we're capped off right now. So during the day, if you got any plans today, you're good. It's tonight that you have to have that severe weather awareness up, especially for our folks over there in Western Arkansas. Johnson County, great comment from Sarah. Make sure you have everything plugged in. You've got the closet ready to go. Be prepared, not scared. I love that. Make sure you have that good to go, guys. Make sure you have that ready to go as we get into tonight here. And like I mentioned before, Northwestern Arkansas, I'm going to go back for just a little bit. I'm going to go over to, I have the tornadoes right here. Northwestern Arkansas, I'm very concerned for you guys up there. That hatched area for the potential of seeing EF2 plus tornadoes, it's on the table. Could this get expanded? I've got 20 that says it does. I'd be surprised if it didn't. So keep that in mind up there in Northwestern Arkansas. You may see that expansion probably from Harrison to Jasper, probably as far southwest as the Fort Smith area as well here. So just kind of keep that in mind as we get into tonight. Let me see here. Thank you. You guys are the best. I have special needs kids, one on the ventilator, so it's very important to have for planning and ample time to get to our safe place here. Missy, that's why we're here. That's why we keep you guys updated on the latest situation. I promise you, if I had an option, I wouldn't be sitting here talking about severe weather. But we gotta get it going. We gotta talk to you guys about it so you guys stay ahead of the storm. So, safe place ready in the Russellville area. I even brought a helmet. Barbara, great comment. The reason why she brought a helmet is because, when severe weather strikes, head trauma is the number one deal that you deal with. That's the number one, cause of death whenever you're dealing with severe weather. So the helmet helps protect your head from head trauma and stuff like that. So really great comment coming out of the Russell area. We got a lot of people, and I'm loving this morning, by the way, guys. People got their safe place ready to go for tonight. Hopefully nothing happens. I would love for this, severe threat just to go poof, but unfortunately, this is Mother Nature. It's April. This is what we deal with here, guys, okay? So Grant County, right now, like I mentioned before, we'll have to watch it closely. It just depends on what happens with these storms as they push out from Western Arkansas here. We'll have to keep an eye on that as we get into tonight here. Kim Rowland, one of our teammates, thank you so much for getting these comments. Heidi, our moderators, thank y'all so much for getting these comments. They're there for a reason. That's the reason why we have those. We have them. That way they can go and take care of the comments, take care of the questions. So you guys are taken care of here this morning here, okay? So I think that's really it in terms of everything I have seen at this point. Let me see here. Tonytown. Oh, man, yeah, up there in northwestern Arkansas and Marion County. You guys need to have that severe weather awareness up as we get into this evening and into tonight. The tornado threat's there. Damaging wind threat is there. As a matter of fact, I had one comment earlier. It may have gotten buried that said I can zoom in. If you bear with me for just a few minutes, and this is going to be what I call on demand, I will be able to zoom down and show you guys kind of like a certain area on who sees what. So you have to give me for just 1 second. Let me go over to our current radar. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch this over to here. And I'm going to go over to the tornado risk. So give me just 1 second. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to switch this over. So I'm going to move this over to our show. And this area in here, so this is on our product. So this is kind of like a zoomed down version of what we're looking at. This area right in here is hatched for the potential of seeing EF2 plus tornadoes as we get towards night. That's Cedarville, Perry Grove, Fayetteville, Springdale, Salem Springs, Springtown, the Decatur area, that's up here towards Bella Vista. That's Holiday Island, that's Berryville. This area in here is where I'm going to be concerned for the potential EO2 plus tornadoes as we get towards night. So let's zoom this out, kind of give you guys kind of a look at this point. So this is for our folks up here in northwestern Arkansas. Now what I can do is the tornado threat, I can zoom this out, kind of give you guys a little bit of a view on what's going on here. So we've got people asking about Jonesboro. Jonesboro, you're in that tornado risk. This kind of breaks down on like what we're looking at in terms of who's in the tornado risk or not for tonight here. So I saw that one comment earlier. Give me just a second. Sorry guys. Man, that water's good at 8 o'clock in the morning. Well, 9 o'clock in the morning. Excuse me. So I saw that one comment earlier about zooming down and kind of seeing like city by city on who's in the specific risk or not. You can kind of see what I mean here. So there's Harrison, there's Jasper. Let's zoom this out a little bit further. You know, there's Little Rock, there's Cabot, there's Lone Oak, there's Searcy, and there's Jonesboro up here. I can even do, if you bear me for just a second, do I have this? Do I have this up? Give me just a second. Let me see if I have this up or not. I do believe, yeah, there's the counties as well. So I do have the counties as well. That may be a little bit hard to see. But basically, you can kind of see what's going on down here. Sevier County, that's going to be down here in southwestern Arkansas, the Queen area. You do have that tornado risk as we get into the night. There's Little Rock. Little Rock, right now, technically, downtown Little Rock is not in the tornado risk. It's going to be for our folks in western Pulaski County. That's Maumelle, that's Mayflower, those are Hot Springs Village, Hot Springs, these areas at this point here. So, just kind of looking at this, I forgot I could do this. This is brand new technology, by the way. You know, I was out sick, and they upgraded our technology here in the Weather Center, so I'm still getting used to all of this. But I can kind of look and see on like who's in a specific risk or not here. And you can see up here in northwestern Arkansas, there's Rogers, there's Fayetteville, West Fork, Bella Vista up here, Solon Springs up here, Berryville. Right up here in northwestern Arkansas, you can see where that greater tornado risk zone at this point here. So you kind of zoom this out and kind of see statewide here. Like I said, this is all brand new to me. I'm still getting used to the technology. Yeah, Anna, the graphics we have are the best. Thank you. Yeah, I'm still getting used to all of this here, guys. So this is kind of the categorical risk. Same deal. You can see northwestern Arkansas. You can even see the counties here. So are you talking about, Dawn, are you talking about Benton as the city, or are you talking about Benton County up there in northwestern Arkansas? If you're talking about Benton, that's in central Arkansas. We can go back into that tornado risk. You do not, I'm going to say Benton is not in the tornado threat. But if you're in Benton County up here in northwestern Arkansas, then you are in that significant tornado risk up here at this current time here. Okay, so if y'all have any more questions, let me know. I think that's pretty much it. So the game plan for the rest of the day here is going to be, let me see if I can get this on here. If I can't, then what we will do is I will show you in a different show. Hopefully I can get this on here. I don't know if it's going to work for me or not, but we're going to see. Fingers crossed. Like I said before, this is all brand new technology to me. So we still have that damaging wind threat as we get towards night. Yes, sir, we do. We can take a look at that wind threat. This is the wind threat for tonight. You can see the greater area up here, northwestern Arkansas, from Mena, Fort Smith, Fayetteville, Harrison. I forgot I can, like I said, I apologize. I should have shown this a little earlier. I forgot I can kind of zoom down and kind of see more of like a certain area. But Little Rock is in what we call that that likely area, and you have very likely up here in northwestern Arkansas as we get towards night here. The timing, let's go back to that real quickly here. 1 second. And there's timing for tonight, 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. That's when we're going to have that timing for our folks in the Little Rock area here. Washington County, I love the guys coming out of northwestern Arkansas. I love you guys. You guys need to have that severe weather awareness up as we get towards night. Up there in Washington County, Benton County specifically, as we get towards night here. Matter of fact, I want you guys to do me a big favor. You know anyone in northwestern Arkansas, send them to the page. Let them come to the page. That way they have that up-to-date information at this point. Let me take off radar. So make sure you do that. If you know any folks up there in northwestern Arkansas, that's Fayetteville, that's Rogers, all those areas up there in northwestern Arkansas, make sure that they are tuned into the page here at this point here, okay? So just you got to remember, we cover the entire state. We don't cover just central Arkansas. We cover the entire areas here. So is it true being in the higher elevation areas in between, does it lower your risk? I'm going to say no, because of the fact that you can still get tornadoes that can cross over. If you remember, I want to say this is in 2008, up there in Iowa. If you guys remember that Boy Scout camp that got destroyed by that tornado up there, well, what happened was that tornado kind of went over the hill, and then it came down into the valley. So it does not lower your risk for tornadoes here. If you guys remember that up there in Iowa, you guys hearing that, I remember hearing that on the Weather Channel in 2008 about what happened up there. And that was a situation where a tornado kind of, developed on top of the hill, and then it kind of went down into the valley area, unfortunately, and it hit that Boy Scout camp and killed the people that were in there. Very, very sad situation. But yeah, don't ever think that you're in a higher elevation that you're safe. You still have that tornado threat. It could still happen, even for those folks up there in the higher elevations and down in the valleys here. Okay, so yeah, Anna, that's what we do. Yeah, we cover the entire state, guys. We don't cover just central Arkansas at this point. So thank you for that comment, by the way. We really appreciate your trust, and we appreciate you being here. So what causes severe weather to go on throughout the night? Great question, Matt. So that's instability in fuel. It's kind of like I said, you're starting a fire, and these storms are using that fire to keep going. So basically, these storms continue to going as long as there's instability, as long as there's a favorable environment. They're going to keep going throughout the night. That's why eastern Arkansas is in that timing zone, because we don't know when these storms are going to stop. Are they going to stop in central? Are they going to stop? Or they're going to stop in eastern Arkansas, or they're going to stop when they get to the Mississippi River. That's why you guys are in that zone over there in eastern Arkansas as we get towards tonight here, okay? So, Arkansas County, let me see here. Let me go back over to that. Arkansas County, you are not in the tornado risk, but you are in that damaging wind risk as we get into tonight here. Let me go back. Actually, you guys are in the hail risk. Excuse me. You guys are in that hail risk as we get towards tonight. No tornado threat over there in Arkansas County, but we'll keep you guys updated at this point here. So, yeah, so everyone has times different, and the reason why I'm not going to bash anybody on this live stream, the reason why is because everyone's looking at pieces of data, and they're trying to analyze their own timing. Some of them have it coming in at 7 o'clock. We have it coming in at 10. Others will say 8, 9, different times, because of the fact that data is kind of throwing all these different ideas, and everyone has their own opinions. They're entitled to their own opinions. So just kind of keep that in mind. What we do here is we look at everything, we kind of judge, and we're like, okay, this is what the timing that we're comfortable with. We'll go with it. If we need to change it, we'll change it. We try not to change it on you guys too much, but sometimes you'll get situations where radar will say one thing, data will say another, and it'll just be, you know how weather works. So I appreciate that, Megan, though. I really do. We really, really appreciate the compliment, guys. So be safe out there tonight, guys. Make sure you have that plan ready to go across the board. Let me see here. Union County down there. You guys haven't really talked about much. Fellow Union County native. Right now, you guys are not, I'm going to say, are you in that severe threat at all? You guys are not even, yeah, you guys are in the all clear zone down there in Union County, especially on the eastern side. Getting close towards Magnolia, you start getting into the possible area level 1. That's going to be for the large hail and the damaging wind threat. No tornado threat down there as we get into tonight here. So, the Valonia area, the Mayflower and the Valonia area, excuse me. The tornado risk. Let's go back over to this real fast here. And folks, like I said before, I know you guys are asking about the tornado risk for tonight. I don't want you guys to let your guard down for the damaging wind and hail threat. Very, very important. Severe weather is way more important than tornadoes. Damaging wind threat and the hail threat is there as well. Don't ignore it. Please don't ignore it, because I don't want you guys being caught blindsided with the damaging wind threat and the hail threat. I know the tornado threat is more scarier. Actually, as a matter of fact, if you want my honest opinion, the damaging wind threat is a lot more scarier than the tornado threat, because The tornado threat is sometimes, if you get hit or you don't get hit, damaging wind threat is more widespread. It's almost more like a guarantee that you're going to deal with it. That's why the damaging wind, when I was growing up, damaging wind threats used to scare me a lot more than tornado threats here. I guess that's just me. So that's kind of answering your question here. Are you in that tornado threat? Yeah, you are. Yeah, you're in that tornado threat for tonight. At this point, Malvern, like I said before, folks, don't ignore the other risk zones. Let me go back over to this real quick. Let's talk about this. This is a damaging wind threat. Don't ignore this. Let me repeat. Do not ignore damaging wind and the hail threat for the tornado threat. I get it. I know what's happened over the last year with the Little Rock tornado, the wind tornado, the Hot Springs Village tornado. All you guys have been hearing is tornado. We haven't had a lot of damaging wind events. We haven't had, outside of last year, we hadn't had a lot of hail events. But I'm telling you guys, do not let your guard down for the damaging wind and hail threat. Don't ignore it because it's not a tornado threat. Severe weather is not just tornadoes. If you don't have a tornado threat, that doesn't mean, I'm just going to ignore a severe threat because it's not a tornado threat. I understand. I get it. I know people are asking about the tornado threat. But folks, don't be caught with your pants down with the damaging wind threat and the large hail threat, because sometimes just from chasing, these damaging wind events can be a little bit more intense than the tornado threat, especially for our folks in central Arkansas down to southwest Arkansas, because the tornado threat starts getting lower, but your damaging wind threat is there. So keep that in mind at this point here, okay? So eastern and southeastern Arkansas, I've already gone over it. The Jonesboro area, like I mentioned before, the tornado threat is there, but folks, don't ignore the damaging wind and the hail threat. Let me make this clear. Do not ignore the damaging wind threat or the hail threat, okay? I understand the tornado risk. I get it. I understand people want to know about it. It's popular. I get it. But damaging winds and hail need to be just as popular as the tornado threat, because damaging winds can have significant issues here. And yeah, there it is. Yeah, that's why I'm worried about the tornado threat, because you have these really dead pine trees. All it takes is one, and then boom. So, like I said, when I was growing up, damaging wind threat, I would hear about damaging wind threat, and I would freak out so much. I like somebody would tell me the tornado threat's coming. I'd be like, okay, all right, well, I know what to do. But damaging wind is just a different story. It's a different story when you're dealing with it here. So if it's moving due east, why is the threat southwest northeast in nature? Because the line itself, there's going to be a squall along with this. The line itself is moving east. But if you get some cells, you're going to get some cells that are going to develop, some discrete cells that are going to try to develop. Those cells are going to move from southwest to northeast motion, if that makes sense. So you're going to have some cells that are going to move in that direction, but it's moving east. Your entire thread is moving from west to east, if that makes sense, Dylan. I know it's kind of complicated, but you have those discrete cells that are going to be moving from southwest to northeast, and then you have the line itself that's going to be pushing east. So it's kind of a combination of the both, if that makes sense. I know that's a little confusing. So just kind of looking at everything right now, I think that's really it, guys, in terms of everything here. So we've gone over the risk, we've gone over timing, we've gone over what the radar is going to look like later on. What we're going to do here, let me go over to, give me just 1 second, let me get this up on my show, and I gotta find it. Where is it? Right here. Right here. Give me just 1 second, guys. Let me take this down, and we're going to add the directory, and it's going to lag for just a little bit. There we go. All right, so this is the schedule for the rest of today here. So we've already, let me go over to our good marker here. We've already checked this off. We've already got this done. At 11:30, we're going to get another update from the Storm Prediction Center that's going to tell us what the risk area is going to look like as we get towards night. At 3 p.m., the continuous live stream is going to start up on YouTube. Very important that you subscribe to us on YouTube. Go check out that link that's pinned in the comments on YouTube. It's going to be very, very important, because people will be able to, you'll be able to come in, you'll be able to ask questions and stuff like that. Facebook, the next time I'm live on Facebook, it's going to be a tornado warning. Let me make this perfectly clear. The next time that I'm live on Facebook, it is going to be for a tornado warning. So keep that in mind. Now, obviously, if we have a major upgrade with the risk area or something like that, we'll probably break in right around 3, 4 o'clock this afternoon. But if things remain the same as they are right now, we're going to be live on Facebook for tornado warnings. The posts are going to continue all day long. Any updates are going to continue all day long on Facebook. Facebook is being reserved for the emergency situations. Let me make that clear. It's being reserved for the tornado warnings. So the next time you see me on Facebook, it's going to be on for the tornado warnings. Next time you see our forecast team on live on Facebook, it's going to be for the tornado warnings. On YouTube, it's going to be a continuous live stream starting at 3 o'clock, and it's going to go all the way throughout the entire event. For folks that are wondering why, it's because Facebook's weird. Facebook is just flat out weird. We're just going to get out of the way. Facebook's weird. So what we learned with the last event is Facebook, if you run a continuous live stream on Facebook, it will not send a notification out for tornado warnings, and we don't play that ball game here at Arkansas Weather Watchers. So that's why on YouTube, we're going to have that continuous coverage with our forecast team. You're going to be able to come in, ask questions, stuff like that. I recommend you guys to go check us out on YouTube. That doesn't mean the coverage is going to be there. We're going to have tornado warning coverage on both Facebook and on YouTube as we get into the night. At 7 o'clock, storm development is going to start out there in eastern Oklahoma, and it's going to start over there in northwestern Arkansas here. We have that timing at 10, but we're going to start monitoring radar right around 7 o'clock, so please keep that in mind here. But like so before, YouTube, that continuous live stream is going to start at 3 o'clock on YouTube. Facebook, next time you see this on Facebook, it's going to be for the tornado warning coverage. At some point, I would love for Facebook to get their stuff together so we have continuous coverage on Facebook, but biggest thing is it's just a safety risk, because if we have a continuous stream on Facebook and they don't send a notification out, then there's going to be people that don't tune in, that don't know if there's a tornado warning. And then obviously, if they're in the path, God forbid they're in the path, then you know what happens after that. So please keep that in mind as we get into tonight here. I've already answered timing questions. If you need timing, it is going to be on Facebook. Keep that in mind. Facebook's going to be updated all day long, but I recommend you guys check us out on YouTube. We'll get your questions answered over there as well. One last comment. Quinn, sun is out in Gravette. I hate that, because that's going to lead to some instability issues up there in northwestern Arkansas. So severe weather waters need to go up later this evening and into tonight here. But like I said before, folks on Facebook, I hate it too, man. I hate it. We learned that the hard way with the last event. We tried a continuous live stream. Then we had several people that were saying they never got a notification we were live. And I was like, yeah, we can't do that. We cannot do that when we're having severe weather, because that's a safety risk. So, like I said before, check us out on YouTube at 3 o'clock. Next time you see us on Facebook, it's going to be for tornado warning coverage. So, it's going to be, whenever we go live on Facebook, it's going to be straight tornado warning coverage. So, keep that in mind. Facebook's going to be updated throughout the day. Check us out on YouTube, 3 o'clock. You get your questions answered. We're going to be going over radar, kind of some new updates, and all of that here. So, the sun is out in Jacksonville. Devo, I'm not far from you, bud. If your sun's already out there, that means you're going to have sun coming out across much of the area for today. And we don't like sun when we're dealing with severe weather, folks. We don't like it. It leads to instability increasing across areas. So one last thing I want to look at before I hop off of here, I want to look at satellite imagery so we can kind of get an idea on what we're looking at. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a look. Let's take a look at satellite. Oh, man, look at there. Let's switch this over, switch my show over real quick. There's satellite imagery, guys. Look at here, northwestern Arkansas. You've got some cloud breaks already up here going on. Let's take a look at this real quick. So look at there. Cloud breaks already ongoing northwestern Arkansas. You've got some cloud breaks down here in southeastern Arkansas. This cloud cover already starting to die off across central and southwestern Arkansas as we get at this current time here. So we'll have to see what ends up happening. But we don't want the sun, guys. We do not want the sun to come out today. We do not want it. That leads to severe weather increasing across the area here. Okay, so let me see here. Yeah, so they have posted. Yep, so we'll have that up for you guys on Facebook. Highly recommend downloading the app. We'll have that for you guys as well. YouTube is better anyways. I know Facebook needs to take a lesson from YouTube. I love YouTube because you get on YouTube and you go live. I mean, it pushes the live stream in your face. It's like they're live. Like, it pushes it in your face the moment you get on the app. So yeah, check us out, Virginia, about 3 o'clock. We're going to be sitting there answering questions and stuff like that here, guys, with me and my entire Futurecast team for today here, okay? So, yeah, hopefully it stays cloudy, but I don't like this trend right now. I don't like it. I do not like this trend here. Look at it. Look at there. Look at the cloud breaks already over here in Oklahoma, northwest Arkansas. Central Arkansas, you may stay cloudy for a little bit, but we're going to see. I don't like how the sun is coming out right now up here in northwestern Arkansas at this point. As a matter of fact, we can do this. Give me just a second here. I can move this over to this screen so you guys can see. There's the cloud breaks going on right now here. Look at there in Oklahoma. Look at northwestern Arkansas. There's your cloud breaks moving in across the area. Let's go to visible satellite imagery real fast here. And I'm going to go over to this. You can see there's the cloud breaks coming in across the area. Let's zoom this down so you guys can see there's the cloud breaks across northwestern Arkansas. Still some cloud cover in central, but I do see some cloud breaks. We don't want sun today, guys. You want it to stay cloudy as much as possible, but I'm already seeing that up there in northwestern Arkansas at this point here. So, yeah, so it shows mostly cloudy. It ain't. The sun's already trying to come out, 69 degrees. Already near 70 degrees at 9 o'clock in the morning, and a good sign. So we'll keep you guys updated. That's all I got for you guys right now. Like I said before, Facebook's going to be updated throughout the day. Stay weather aware. Have that safe place ready to go. Tune in at 3 o'clock on YouTube. We're going to be answering questions over there. Next time you see us on Facebook, it's going to be for tornado warning coverage, guys. So y'all stay safe out there, and we'll continue to keep you guys updated right here, your source for all things Arkansas weather.